Good morning. Welcome to MPIF's webinar series. MPIF has created a series of technical and business webinars to provide PM educational materials and business topics that should be beneficial to your organization and serve as a means to keep PM at the forefront during the time of COVID-19. Many of these webinars are only available to our members as a member benefit. I am Paul Sedor, Vice President of Member Services and Industry Relations for MPIF. Today, I will review the role of MPIF, its various programs and offerings, and the many benefits to our members and how members can maximize their benefits through participation. But before I get too far, I want to quickly address how you should submit questions. As I am going through my presentation and you think of a question, please submit that question to the Q&A window. At the conclusion of my presentation, I will allow for 10 minutes to answer questions that have been asked via the Q&A platform. I will do my best to answer as many questions as time permits, but if I am unable to address all questions during the live session, I will follow up directly with individuals. So, thank you for your time today, and let's get started. The Metal Powder Industries Federation, otherwise known as MPIF, is a not-for-profit association formed in 1944 by the powder metallurgy industry to advance the interests of the metal powder producing and consuming industries. The Federation is composed of 6 trade associations that are concerned with some aspect of powder metallurgy, metal powders, or particulate materials. Throughout its long history, MPIF has been a champion of this innovative technology, providing our member companies with a long list of services that help advance the art and science of powder metallurgy while promoting its benefits to prospective end users. The Federation's growth has paralleled the growth of the industry it serves. In 1973, the Federation moved its headquarters from New York City to Princeton, New Jersey, where it is currently located and where its staff of professionals strive to help the organization achieve its mission, to be the international trade association serving the global interest of the North American PM and contiguous industries. Currently, MPIF's membership is around 230 plus member companies assembled in 6 associations, which include the Powder Metallurgy Parts Association, the Metal Powder Producers Association, the Powder Metallurgy Equipment Association, the Metal Ejection Molding Association, the Refractory Metals Association, and the Association for Metal Additive Manufacturing. In addition to our corporate members, we have members that fall into other categories such as affiliate, consultant, associate, and overseas members. In addition, MPIF supports and assists with the management of 2 other related organizations, APMI International and the Center for Powder Metallurgy Technology, which I will now further review. MPIF is proud to be associated with and support APMI International. It is a non-profit professional society which promotes the advancement of powder metallurgy, otherwise known as PM, and particulate materials as a science. Its purpose is to disseminate and exchange information about PM and particulate materials through publications, conferences, and other activities of the society. Membership in APMI International is on an individual basis. Corporate or company memberships are not available. Members include material scientists, metallurgical, mechanical, and process engineers, educators, students, business people, and those whose job requires them to keep up to date with new developments and advances in materials technology and engineering applications. API is the professional body for industry information. It produces the International Journal of Powder Metallurgy and the Who's Who and PM Directory. APMI is involved in professional development and provides recognition through programs and awards. For educational resources, APMI International and MPIF have partnered with TechStreet to provide digital and print access to leading powder metallurgy publications. APMI and MPIF offer the most extensive selection of titles found anywhere related to the science, technology, and business of powder metallurgy and particulate materials. You can find books, conference proceedings, videos, digital files, and CD-ROM products covering every aspect of PM and order them easily online for shipment anywhere in the world. Don't forget, members enjoy discounted pricing on all publications, so be sure to log in to the MPIF website to access your membership discount portal. The Powder Metallurgy Technologist Certification Program was created by APMI International to recognize individuals who possess defined bodies of knowledge encompassing the broad field of powder metallurgy and particulate materials. Why should someone want the powder metallurgy technologist? Certification. This certification is a formal acknowledgement by APMI that an individual has demonstrated comprehension of a specified body of knowledge encompassing the broad field of powder metallurgy and particulate materials. It promotes high professional standards within this field. The Center for Powder Metallurgy Technology. This is a scientific organization dedicated to PM that MPIF is proud to be involved with, support, and assist in its operations. The Center for Powder Metallurgy Technology, or Cpmt, merges the academic and corporate PM worlds together with a joint goal to promote PM industry progress. This progress depends on the business community and its need to be healthy and profitable, and it also takes the educational community with its dedication to research and the pursuit of knowledge. The coordination and cooperation of these two, the corporate world and the academic world, is essential to the growth potential of any industry, including powder metallurgy. The Cpmt was created to help bring these two very different systems together. It was started in 1984 and involves pre-competitive research and development. We currently have 47 member companies, and Cpmt meets twice per year in the Detroit area. Here is a list of active and past Cpmt projects. Machinability of select PM materials, strain-based fatigue for PM materials, powder metallurgy lubrication study, lubricant practice and tool coating effects, impact testing of powder metallurgy gear teeth, single press to full density, traditional warm compaction and sintering methods, and rust prevention of PM ferrous parts. Another significant activity of Cpmt is that it provides annual scholarships. Cpmt has been instrumental in offering scholarships to worthy students with an interest in PM. Since 2000, Cpmt, through its various scholarships, has awarded 163 students over $550,000 in scholarships representing colleges and universities from across the United States. This is a very impressive accomplishment for our industry. Another great benefit for introducing students to our industry is the Cpmt Axel Madison Conference Grant Award. These grants are provided to full-time master's degree students or below involved in studies relating to the field of powder metallurgy. Students receive full conference registration, conference meals, and can attend other conference activities. After the conference, the student must prepare a detailed report of the conference to be published in the International Journal of Powder Metallurgy. This is a slide of our current Cpmt members. As you can see, we have representation from the end user community, representing such industries as automotive, industrial, lawn and garden, agriculture, and defense, among others. We also have representation from the PM powder producers, PM equipment producers, and various PM service providers. And lastly, we have a large representation of PM parts producers. This broad range of representation allows for ideas and discussion to take place for any aspect along the PM process for a given application and identify issues and opportunities to be recognized quickly so that solutions can be researched and developed. It is a fine example of where industry end users and academia can work together to develop solutions or put forth new ideas. The many roles of MPIF. MPIF promotes the PM industry, the various PM technologies, and its associations. We assist in the transfer of technology and the advancement of technology through our events, our educational seminars, our publications, and our conferences. Through the efforts of our associations, we develop and disseminate industry standards. We provide various PM educational seminars annually. We provide networking opportunities. We encourage member company participation. We advocate on behalf of the industry and its members. And lastly, we provide member and industry statistics. Now I will go through each of these points in more detail. When it comes to promoting the PM industry, MPIF listens to its members and provides them with a very active role in deciding how, who, where, when, and what we advertise. We have an industry development board comprised of members from PMPA, MPPA, MEMA, AMAM, and PMEA, who meet 3 times a year to make decisions on direction of advertising, messaging, targeting, platforms of reach, and measuring the success of these activities. We balance digital, print, and social media, as well as other techniques for reaching the various audiences. We also reach out to the end user community through our PM showcases, whereby we provide technical presentations on conventional PM, MIM, and additive manufacturing, as well as provide a hands-on parts exhibit where end users can see, touch, and ask questions to our engineers about automotive PM parts. We have had excellent turnouts and responses from GM, Ford, and FCA. Also, we had our first PM Industry Day in 2018 hosted by FCA, where members from PMPA, MPPA, AMAM, and MEMA were able to exhibit at FCA's Tech Center in Auburn Hills, Michigan, and over 800 FCA employees attended and had a chance to meet our industry and develop relationships. There are so many new engineers in the automotive community who are new to PM that we need to continue these programs in order to keep PM in the forefront of them. We are expecting to have another PM Industry Day in 2021. We have developed several great educational videos on various PM topics that are on YouTube and on our pickpm.com website, so please review. As stated, we produce PM-positive, industry-targeted ads, both digitally and for print, as well as incorporate video clips for digital newsletters. One of our most important events is our Design Excellence Award Competition. This annual event, through the participation of our members, provides us with content, photos, and videos for our websites, as well as serves the basis for case studies and white papers. It also provides opportunities for our members to advertise their winning parts on their own sites and incorporate these in their ads. This event is a rich marketing and advertising event for the members in our industry. Additional communications and outreach to our members include our management briefs and focused PM newsletter. Our monthly association management briefs provide updates on the activities of each association as well as industry updates, introduction of new members, and short economic briefs. Our Focus PM is a bi-weekly newsletter with industry updates from around the world, including updates on companies, PM industry professionals, and more. Another major way we promote and interact with the PM industry is through our family of websites. We have many websites that convey PM-related information on various topics targeted to different audiences. Our main Federation website, www.mpif.org, houses all the information about MPIF, its events, resources, our associations, and provides access to our members-only section. Our pickpm.com site is a great site for educational resources such as case studies, white papers, videos, etc. But it is also our primary site for where to find a PM parts fabricator. This is the site where we drive parts designers and engineers through our various advertising efforts to search and contact parts producers. Our mpif-extension.org site is the MPIF guide to PM microstructures. It is designed to assist PM parts manufacturers and the end user community to interpret PM microstructures. It really demonstrates what a powerful tool metallography can be when engineering new components, designing new materials, and solving various types of quality problems. The user will be able to reference materials processed by conventional sintering, elevated temperature sintering, accelerated cooling rates, etc., to determine phase and structure of the materials. Specimen preparation and proper selection of etchants is also covered. Next is the MPIF Digital Library. The MPIF Digital Library is available for the entire PM industry. It contains thousands of technical manuscripts from MPIF technical conferences dating back to 1946 in a completely searchable database. The library allows users to download individual papers instead of requiring the purchase of an entire conference proceeding. Search options are available by title, author, keyword, publication type, categories, or copyright year. The next site is the Center for Powder Metallurgy Technology, which I've already covered. The next site then is the Global Powder Metallurgy Property Database. This interactive database provides material property information covering a wide range of PM material systems. Its purpose is to enable part designers and manufacturers to make an informed decision in using PM materials for their application. MIMAweb.org is our Metal Injection Molding Association website. Everything you would like to know about MIM and our members is there. Lastly is the APMIinternational.org site. That's the official website of the APMI Professional Society, which I already covered. Transfer and Advanced Technology. Here are many of the programs, courses, publications, and websites that indicate the work that our members and MPIF put forward to advance PM and assist in transferring technology among our members and the industry. The industry roadmap is updated every 5 years or so and provides an outlook on where our members believe the industry is headed as it relates to technologies, materials, and industry applications. As mentioned, we make available our conference proceedings. Next, the Design Excellence Awards competition showcases the best of what our technologies can do and promotes those ideas and solutions. Next, we have our educational courses. Many of our members and non-members attend our educational seminars each year and find them exceptionally beneficial. These include the Basic Powder Metallurgy Short Course, the PM Sintering Course, PM Compacting and Tooling, Machinability Seminar, and the Automation Seminar. And as just mentioned, these two websites assist in the transfer and advancement of technology by providing access to a substantial set of information. Develop and disseminate industry standards. Another important role for MPIF is developing and disseminating industry standards. There is a tremendous amount of investment in time, materials, processing, and analysis that go into developing standards. These standards are so important to establishing legitimacy for a technology and for an industry. They provide confidence to part designers who are designing parts and selecting materials that they know will have certain minimum and typical properties which will meet or exceed their specification. This allows for customers to have confidence in procuring components from our industry knowing that those parts will meet or exceed their specification. Our standards are industry consensus standards. Each of our associations determines which materials to work on, and they have a standards committee that works through the process from material selection to producing parts to lab analysis to data analysis and then the final outcome. Our standards include material specifications for components, methods of test for powders and components, powder metallurgy press safety standards developed in cooperation with the American National Standards Institute, test methods and assurance program, which includes the basic program, which look at areas such as measuring density, apparent hardness, transverse rupture strength. Additional programs include micro-indentation hardness, carbon analysis, and chemical composition analysis. MPIF offers many venues and opportunities for members to network and learn. We have our annual PowderMet and AMPM conference, which is our largest event and is the largest PM event in North America. This event is well attended and is known for its excellent technical papers representing materials, powder production, conventional PM, additive manufacturing, and tungsten and hard metals. This year, we were going to host the World PM 2020 conference in Montreal, as well as the Triennial Tungsten and Hard Metals Conference, but unfortunately, we had to cancel due to COVID-19. I am sure all of you will miss this event as we all look forward to having the next PowderMet conference and celebrating PM. We did, however, manage to hold our MIM 2020 Metal Injection Molding Conference early in the year in Irvine, California, and we had a good turnout for that conference in spite of COVID-19 just starting to hit. Another great networking opportunity is our annual PM Management Summit held in the fall. We have excellent speakers presenting on relevant topics. The topics and the speakers are chosen by a committee made up of members. This is a great environment for meeting top executives of our member companies, establishing relationships, and learning from experts on various topics relevant to our industry. Our associations hold board meetings and membership meetings typically twice a year, where they are able to discuss and focus on issues that are most relevant to their association. Topics include development of standards, marketing efforts, conferences, how to penetrate new industries, industry benchmarking, and any other pertinent issues occurring in their industry. Any of these venues and others already mentioned offer excellent networking opportunities, whether the topics are technical, sales, industry-related, or management. How do members participate? Well, as you can see, there are many opportunities for members to participate. Our members can participate in the following activities. They can serve on the various standards committees and on the technical board. They can serve on the roadmap committee. Many members serve on the industry development board, and many members participate by attending association meetings and conferences. Others participate in specific association programs and in statistical surveys, while many contribute to the conference technical program committee. All parts producers have the option of participating in the Design Excellence Awards, which is a great opportunity for your company. And lastly, members can attend our educational courses or can be speakers at these events. How does MPIF advocate on behalf of the PM industry and its members? We actively participate and contribute to the National Association of Manufacturers on topics that affect or impact our membership. We are a member on trade-related committees with the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative and the U.S. Department of Commerce, providing a voice for our industry on trade agreements and standards that impact trade. We monitor and/or participate in activities with the Original Equipment Suppliers Association. We are a leadership team member of the ASM International Atomization Technology Innovation Consortium. We are co-chairman of the American Makes and ANSI Additive Manufacturing Standardization Collaborative Precursor Materials Subcommittee. And we have a very active collaboration with the European Powder Metallurgy Association, the Japanese Powder Metallurgy Association, and the Asian Powder Metallurgy Association. Providing member and industry statistics. MPIF provides various monthly, quarterly, and annual statistics reports. Let's review several of these. Our associations participate in annual safety awards based on the OSHA 300 report. Their safety scores are benchmarked in various categories, and member companies receive awards for finishing in the top tier of their association based on employee size. It's a great way to benchmark your company and improve your company's safety. These awards are presented at a membership meeting. Next, we have the Metal Powder Shipments Report. The Metal Powder Shipments Report is available in our members-only section on our MPIF site and includes metal powder shipments by quarter and by year for various materials for North America and Japan. In addition, and only available to our MPPA members, there is a separate monthly metal powder shipments report. Next, we have the twice monthly economic indicators. These are also only available to our members in the members-only section. This is a detailed presentation tracking leading and lagging indicators, key metrics of various industries, and various parts and powder imports and exports. We present and track market indices, durable goods, consumer confidence index, the purchasing managers index, housing starts, GDP, unemployment, inflation, and industrial production. We also track and report our iron powder shipments and their relationship to various industries. We also provide details on the following industries such as automotive, firearms, aerospace, semiconductors, oil and gas, tractors, and other relevant industries. In addition, we also have a large section dedicated to tracking monthly and annual imports and exports of various metal powders for the United States, Europe, Japan, and the Indian market. We will now review a few slides from our monthly economic indicators presentation. The first slide shows the economic indicators dashboard, which gives you a quick view of some of the most important indicators that have a strong correlation to the industries that drive our business. You can see that there are two arrows for each indicator. First, we use a color to indicate whether that indicator is performing positively, neutral, or negatively, green, yellow, and red, respectively. Next, we use the direction of the arrow to indicate whether the performance is moving in the direction of increasing, flat, or decreasing, up, flat, or down, respectively. And we view each indicator for the current month and for the past 6 months. Consumer confidence is very important because approximately 71 to 75% of our economy is driven by personal consumer expenditures. So if the consumer is feeling good, working, and spending money, especially on durable goods, then the economy is booming. Otherwise, we can quickly slow down or worsen. Light-duty vehicle sales are one of the most important indicators of the consumer strength and the U.S. economy, and of course is our most important industry for PM. So tracking vehicle sales is key, but showing the breakout between cars and trucks is very important as light-duty trucks have far more weight in PM components than autos. In addition, housing starts, unemployment, and consumer confidence are leading economic indicators projecting how the consumer is doing at the macroeconomic level. We also track the Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index, which is one of the most important indicators of how manufacturing is doing in the United States, as well as we track in Europe and China. We also include tractor retail sales, oil and gas rig counts, and of course our iron powder shipments for structural parts, All of these are our most important indicators, and if they are green and pointed in the right direction, we can feel pretty confident. If there is a lot of yellow or worse, red, then the economy is in bad shape. Slide 18 shows you one of the 3 agenda slides from our monthly presentation. We lay out the presentation so that the main topics are hyperlinked to their location within the presentation. So when you click on one of these, it takes you right to the section of the presentation. This is to assist with navigation to key areas quickly. Slide 19 shows monthly iron powder shipments for structural parts, both the raw data and the 12-month moving average, which is used to smooth out the variability. And the yellow and red bars indicate year-over-year percentage change on a monthly basis. As you can see, the past 8 months have been negative compared to the same month in the prior year, and we've had 17 negative months year-over-year out of the past 18 months, indicating that business is already down, and with COVID has more than exacerbated the problem. Slide 20 shows several sources of U.S. light vehicle sales, North American production projections, and U.S. light vehicle days supply. Each month we report Ward's outlook on sales, as well as various U.S. government reports on sales, production, and inventory. Here you can see the huge impact of COVID on sales, on production estimates, and the fact that inventory has been building through March, where we sit now at 120 days. This will most likely plateau in April, but remain at a higher than normal level until consumers can go back to work and start earning a living. And many of us see and report that most car companies are offering all sorts of incentives to spur sales. Slide 21 compares auto sales against light truck sales and auto assemblies against light truck assemblies. The red line indicates that light truck assemblies represent approximately 73% of all assemblies, and the green line indicates autos represent 24%. The blue line indicates auto sales at around 22% of total U.S. vehicle sales, and the yellow line indicates light truck sales represent about 75% of total U.S. vehicle sales. The other 3% belongs to heavy trucks and other category. Now, picking up from where we left off. At the annual management meeting, Mpif reviews its results from the annual Pulse survey. We survey our members by association on key business metrics and on future topics. We compare those responses to the previous year and generate our pulse of the industry by association and for the industry in total. We then report those responses and share with our member companies. This has been a good benchmark for the industry and for each association on an annual basis. Which leads us to our most recent offering, which is the monthly PM Sentiment Survey and the monthly PM Confidence Index. We started this program in December 2019 and have been reporting now for 4 months. Each month we survey the executive/management teams of our member companies, asking 5 key questions regarding PM business conditions for the present situation and the same questions looking 6 months out. We then run our calculations and report a confidence index. We report by association, by executive function, and by total response for all associations. This monthly report can be found on our members only section. Here are several examples of the charts available. This dashboard gives you a quick look at how the entire industry reported their responses on business conditions, employment conditions, backlog of orders, new orders, and sales for the present month and expectations 6 months out. I have now incorporated this slide as slide 1 into the monthly economic indicators presentation as well. As we look across the 5 charts, we see a very negative picture for both the present situation and for 6 months out. Hopefully, as we move into the future months, we will start to see more positive results as our country tries to reopen. And this tool should reflect those actions and project us when our members think this will start to happen in our industry. Therefore, as our industry uses this tool and we collect more months of information, we will start to see a more accurate picture of our industry on a monthly basis. The next slide shows total responses for the present situation versus total responses for 6 months out. The index score works on the basis that a score above 50 means we are expanding or improving or above recessionary conditions. A score below 50 means that we are contracting, decreasing, or slowing down. A score consistently below 42 for several months means a recession. The top portion of the chart shows the index values for the present month situation, and the bottom chart shows index values for expectations 6 months out. As you look from left to right, you see a description of the topic that the question was addressing on the left. Then you see the actual index value for the current month. Then next is the previous month's index score. Next to that is the percentage point change from the previous month. Next to that is the direction for the current index score, such as it is contracting, expanding, decreasing, etc. And that relates to a score either above 50 or below 50. And then next is the rate of change of the percentage point change and its relevance to whether the current index score is still above or below 50. And in the last column is the trend, which describes the number of months this topic's direction has been in that condition. The next slide is relevant to how CEOs responded. This slide shows how CEOs scored April and then looking 6 months out. In looking at each category scores, we see some very low numbers for both the current month as well as looking 6 months out, and that the trend has been consistent for all categories for 2 months. Overall, we see a significant slowdown in our industry at the present moment, and the CEOs see the same conditions 6 months out. And given the nature of this very unusual situation and the reopening of our country's economy on a state-by-state basis, as well as the global economy reopening country by country, we will most likely not see a strong V-shaped recovery, but instead a drawn-out U-shaped recovery or a W-shaped recovery of starts and stops. This level of uncertainty will show up in our survey and be reflected in our index over the next several months. This same slide is available for the other executive functions, such as CFO and top sales management, as well as for each association. Other benefits. Our members can receive major savings on electricity and natural gas through our affiliation with APPI Energy. APPI Energy provides customized data-driven procurement and consulting solutions that reduce and manage electricity and natural gas costs. Your contact information with APPI is listed below. And just a reminder that MPIF members receive a discount on training programs, various publications, and conferences. In summary, I would like to state that MPIF is your organization. It is 6 different associations comprised of member companies and their employees. Members are the heartbeat of each association and of the overall federation. Participation and engagement equals representation of your ideas, concerns, and issues, from which associations can then decide what is important. Members who participate and engage get more out of the experience and will better understand their industry and its players. Overall, all of our member companies benefit from the efforts of those members who have already served and from the members currently serving and directing the activities of various committees, as everyone is trying to improve our industry and build a stronger relationship with our end-user community. Remember, the goal of MPIF is to promote the PM industry, its respective technologies, and its member companies to the targeted industries and market segments. With that, I would like to thank you for your time and attention. Please consider these upcoming webinars. We have one on titanium on June 10th, and I will be giving a more detailed presentation on using the monthly economic indicators on June 17th. You can learn more about these webinars by going to the links shown. So, do we have any questions?